Here's the first lesson of the grade 9 math course. In this lesson, we're going to look at integers, and I'll teach you how to do different operations such as addition, subtraction, and multiplication that involve integers. First off, let's look at what are integers. Integers are the set of whole numbers that include all positive and negative whole numbers, and also 0. Now, an important part of this definition is that they have to be whole numbers, meaning integers can't have a fraction part or a decimal part. And in set notation, we use the symbol z to represent the set of integers, and inside curly brackets, I'll show you the numbers that are within the set of integers. There would be negative whole numbers such as -3, -2, -1. There would also be 0, and also positive whole numbers like 1, 2, and 3. And these integers would continue forever in both the positive and negative directions. And we could see that on this number line here. The numbers you see labeled on this number line are all integer values, and this number line continues forever in both the positive and negative directions. And we'll use this number line to help us with the addition and subtraction of integers. Let's go to example 1, where it says, what are some examples of real-life situations that involve integers? Well, in real life, some scenarios where we need both positive numbers, negative numbers, and 0 could be when dealing with temperature, bank accounts, or elevation above or below sea level. And now let's move on to part 2 of this lesson, where I show you how to add and subtract integers. I'll show you a couple different methods, but let's start with a very simple question, where we're just going to be adding a positive integer. In this example here, notice we're just doing 3 plus a positive 4. When adding a positive integer, well, you already know how to do that. 3 plus 4 we know is 7. But if we're going to use a number line when adding a positive integer, we want to move to the right along the number line. So to demonstrate why 3 plus 4 is 7, we'd have to start at 3 on the number line and then move to the right 4 units. And then you can see that brings us to 7, which is why 7 is the answer. But what about if we're going to be adding a negative integer? So in the next example, we have 1 plus a -3. When adding a negative, we move left along the number line. So in doing 1 plus -3, we start at 1, but then we move 3 units to the left. And when moving 3 units to the left, that brings us to -2. So 1 plus -3 is equal to -2. And another way to visualize this, let me open up Polypad. And if we're doing 1 plus -3, let me bring out a 1 and a 3. Let me make that 3 negative, and I'll split it into 3 negative ones. And then when combining these numbers together, notice this 1 and -1 are going to cancel out and make 0. So what are we left with when we combine these values? We merge them together, we've got -2. And now let's move on to subtracting integers. To subtract integers, I'll show you a couple ways, but first off, let's use the method where we just add the opposite. So if we have -3 minus -5, because we are subtracting integers, I can just add the opposite, meaning I keep the first integer, so keep -3, but instead of subtracting -5, I add the opposite of -5, which is +5. So the question just becomes -3 plus 5. And to do that, we go to -3 on the number line, and then when adding 5, I need to move 5 units to the right. And that brings me to 2. So -3 plus 5 is 2. And once again, on Polypad, if I had a -3 and a 5, if I were to combine them together, let me split these into their ones. Notice that these 3 negative ones will cancel out with 3 of the positive ones, leaving us with just 2 ones at the end, which gives us the answer of 2. And now let's move on to the next example here, where we just have to do 10 minus +4. Well, of course that answer is 6. And I'm about to overcomplicate it a bit just for a second, just so you get the hang of this adding the opposite. When subtracting a +4, I could use the principle of adding the opposite by keeping the first integer of 10, but instead of subtracting +4, I add the opposite of +4, which is -4. And to do 10 plus -4, well, I start at 10 on the number line, and then when adding a negative, we move to the left. So I'll move to the left 4 units, and that of course brings me to 6. So let's go ahead and practice these methods here in example 2 before I show you an alternate method. So example 2 A, I want to do -5 plus 2. That would mean start at -5 and then move 2 units to the right, which would bring me to -3. Part B is another addition question, so I can start at 3, and then because I'm adding -7, I have to move to the left 7, and that would bring me to -4. Part C and D are both subtraction questions, so I can use the principle of adding the opposite. So 10 minus 12, I can think of that as 10 plus -12, which means start at 10 and then move to the left 12. Moving to the left 12 units brings me to -2. And then 15 minus -6, I can add the opposite of -6. So I can add +6. And this just becomes 15 plus 6. I don't need a number line for that. That's just 21. Now let me show you an alternate method for when we're adding or subtracting integers. And this is the method that you'll probably use most often. Step 1 for this method is we're always going to combine two adjacent signs into a single sign. If we have two adjacent signs that are the same sign, so either both positive or both negative, we can change it to a single positive sign. But if we have two opposite signs beside each other, so if we're adding a negative or subtracting a positive, we change it to just a single negative sign. And then we perform the operation between the two integers using the new sign. If it's a positive sign, we add the integers. If it's a negative sign, we subtract the integers. And then we can, of course, do a number line check. We'll always start at the first number, and then move to the right if we're adding, but then move to the left if we're subtracting. So let's look at how that works in example 3. Look and see for all the places that we have two signs adjacent to each other. Here I have adding a negative, a plus and a minus. Two opposite signs change to a minus. So this becomes 5 minus 7. And to do 5 minus 7, we start at 5, and then when subtracting, move to the left. So I have to move to the left 7 units. And that brings me to -2. Part B, once again, I have two signs adjacent to each other. I have two negative signs. I'm subtracting a negative. Two of the same signs, I can change them to a single positive sign. So it becomes -3 plus 7. And then when adding, I just need to move to the right. So I'll start at -3, and I'll move to the right 7 units, which gives me an answer of 4. Part C, I have 10 plus -3. If you have two opposite signs right beside each other, they change to a negative. So it becomes 10 minus 3. And then 10 minus 3, we don't need a number line for that. That's just 7. And then part D, I have two negative symbols beside each other. I'm subtracting a negative. Two of the same sign become a positive. So this becomes -4 plus 6. So start at -4 and move to the right 6 units. That gives an answer of 2. So just to clarify, if you have two signs beside each other that are opposites of each other, so example, a plus and a minus, they become minus. But if you have two signs beside each other that are the same as each other, so a minus and a minus, they become a plus. Now this rule isn't for helping to determine the sign of the final answer. You need to use a number line to figure out what your final answer is going to be. This rule just helps you figure out what operation to put between the two numbers. So now that you know how to add and subtract integers, let's move on to the last part of this lesson where we multiply and divide integers. When multiplying or dividing integers that have the same sign, the product or the quotient is going to be positive. So for example, 5 times 4, those are both positive integers, so the answer is going to be positive. It's 20. And also, if we had two negative integers multiplied by each other, so for example, -2 times -7, because it's two negatives, since they're the same sign integers, the answer is going to be positive. It's positive 14. And when multiplying or dividing integers that have opposite signs, the product or the quotient is going to be negative. So, for example, if we were doing 5 times -4, since those two integers are opposite signs, the answer is going to be negative. It will be -20. So let's do example 3 where we practice this. 3a, -5 times 2. Well, 5 times 2 is 10, but because one of the integers is positive and one of them is negative, I know the result has to be negative. So it becomes -10. Part B, I have -3 times -7. 3 times 7 is 21, and because both of these are negative, right, if they're both the same sign, the answer is going to be positive. So the answer is positive 21. Part C, I have a division question. I have a positive divided by a negative. Opposite signs, the answer is going to be negative. And I know 20 divided by 4 is 5, so this becomes negative 5. And then 52 divided by 13. Those are both positive values. Since they're the same sign, the answer is going to be positive, and 13 goes into 52 4 times. Now, before I end the video, let me clear up one thing just to make sure you don't make a common mistake. With multiplying or dividing, if they're the same sign, like negative 3 and negative 7, the answer is going to be positive. But when adding or subtracting, so for example, here, I have negative 3 minus negative 7. When we have two negatives beside each other, that just changes the operation to a positive. It doesn't guarantee the answer is going to be positive. So for example, if I had negative 10 minus negative 1, these two minus signs here just change the operation between the numbers to be plus. So be negative 10 plus 1, which is negative 9. So even though there were two minus signs here, the answer can still be negative. So the two minus signs here don't tell us anything about the sign of the answer. They just tell us what we can change the operation between the integers to be. So that's the end of the lesson. Make sure you go to jensenmath.ca and try out the worksheet of practice problems to get good at operations with integers. Jensen